Okay, so when it finally connects, you're going to be seeing it says note, if there is a C ground test pin on the interface board, please remove or cut out. So on this board, you see right here, this little, I'm pointing it out right here. Let's see if you can see it. This pin right here, there was a pin here that it tells you to cut it off. So I'm wondering, why would they not just take it out in the first place? So I just soldered it off. I didn't want to cut it off to make it look bad. So what I did, I just simply removed it. I just heated that up and just slide it out when I melted the solder. No big deal. But that's just one thing. So okay, let's continue. So let's press OK. Now it's detecting the pin. And this takes a while as well. So overall, this is not a fast process. They sell you on the idea that you don't have to solder, but for Cast 3, there's so many options out there where you can just hook up a connector right here without having to do all this. So I don't know why they don't, instead of this whole thing where you have to connect this adapter to this to sand, I don't know why they don't just make a plug here like BMW multi-tool or CGGI. I'm going to show you on my multi-tool how fast I can read this without having to do all this. I can read this in a few minutes rather than having to connect everything and dealing with messing with the circuit board by using prongs. Like, it's just a big hassle. And you can see here, poor connection on all these. So the end. So initially what you'll do, if you see these, the IND, res, and ETX, the IND would be this one right here, which will be a little pin there. So I can take a look, see if it's aligned or not. You kind of, if it's not aligned, you can kind of push it into the spot, and I'll do it again. Now before I had no problem with the IND. I might have just had it not aligned, which is an issue. I'm telling you, you have to be really careful you line it up. It's not as simple as the videos where you just pop it on and it's perfectly aligned in that video. Let's see what I heard a noise. Let's see what it's going to tell us now. I'm telling you, I've been messing with this for several hours and I have never been able to get it to connect. No matter what I tried. I spoke, this has a chat room in it, this program where you can talk to text or chat room. They actually banned me from the chat room because I was talking about how difficult this is to connect and how much easier it is to use a different programmer to read the Cast 3. And I was telling them how the issues and all the different methods I try to get those pins connect to the board. I even soldered the little pads. I put a little solder on it so there was a better connection to that solder pad. It just would never connect, and they actually banned me from the chat room because I was talking about how bad it was and how I couldn't get it connect. And then on top of that, the text, this has a line. See how long it's taking? I can explain everything to you guys while it's trying to read the pin connection. One of the texts from the company directly, there's a tech where you can speak to a tech directly, which is kind of cool if they were able to offer any type of help. They actually told me to solder the pad to the board here. They told me to solder there with the lead wire and solder it directly to one of these pins. So I asked them, what is the point of me soldering this if they advertise no solder? They literally told me to solder from the cast module, solder a wire to the pin. That was their explanation. I'm gonna post a screenshot right now of that conversation where they told me to solder it. See, in the screenshot right here, you can see where they had told me to solder that wire, which defeats the whole purpose of buying solder free. And it's still detecting the pin. This is gonna be a long video if I don't, cut things out. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video again and just wait until it shows how it never connects. Well, this thing got stuck on here. Now imagine if that's the thing I don't like about this company, is they don't allow you to use your computer. If you want to use your computer to use this, they should have made it like a USB where you connect it via USB to control this, like most programmers, with your computer. they try to sell you on that you can use your phone. The problem is, what if the phone app crashes? We all know how unreliable apps are. Now, do you really want to trust an app when you're messing with a module, a piece that starts your car? What if you're working on a customer's car and this app crashes like it did? What if it was in the middle of a programming? What do you think is going to happen to this module in the middle of programming? You think this is going to try to retort back to what it was doing? I can safely say this is stuck. This is frozen. I've never seen it do this long. Now, like I said, imagine this while this happening in the middle of programming this module. What are the consequences you would face if you're using an unreliable phone? And this is an iPhone X. This is not an old phone. This is an iPhone X that I'm using, so it's a new phone. It's not an old Android or an old Apple tablet I'm using. I just wish they had a standalone computer program that connects directly to the programmer. If you want to use your computer, you have to use your phone as a middleman or buy like a dongle, which it's just too much. I reliably prefer to use my computer to connect to this instead of having to use my phone. When I was testing this before, I was just kind of worried that I would get a phone call in the middle of programming and it would disrupt the programming. Now, if you put it in airplane mode, this requires a Wi-Fi connection, so you can't put it in airplane mode. So you'd probably have to use a phone or a tablet or something that you're not gonna get a phone call in. Now, in registering this to the app was pretty difficult. It pretty much ties it to only one phone because it asks for your phone's IMEI. So it's not like I can have like another phone, because I want to use this phone. It's new. I have no issues with this phone, so that's why I connected to my phone. But you'd have to pick one device you're always going to use, so I figured I'd just use my phone that I always use with me every day. So this is the issues I had with this this programmer so far. Another thing is these are so delicate. These pins here, they're those standard spring-loaded push pins. They push down, but you just have to be very gentle. It comes with a case for a reason. You do not want to bend these. If you drop this or hit it or bend it, and these are so thin, the housing on these pins are so fragile, you will bend one right in half. And pretty much, unless you're good at soldering to remove a pin and put a new one back on there, you're gonna be in trouble if you were to bend one of these pins. So you have to be very careful with this. Which out on the road, out on mobile, if you're trying to do a key mobile, how long is this gonna last lugging it around? This is pretty much a bench setup like how I have. I would only use this here at my desk as a bench setup. Yeah, see, I told you this was frozen. I disconnected everything and it's still doing this, so that shows you how reliable this app is. Now, I'm not talking, I really had high hopes for this programmer. I bought it. I mean, I'm a full paying customer. I received no discount or anything on it, and I had high hopes for it. I originally bought this because, I mean, I don't really care about CAS3. I can connect CAS3 with different programmers, no problem, in minutes. With using like even multi-tool with the CAS plug, you can read this, make a key in less than 5 minutes. I just was testing it out because I have all these modules from all these keys I make laying around, so I just wanted to test this out in the CAS3. I got this strictly for CAS4, no solder, because if I can avoid soldering on a board, I will. And I got tricked into the no solder, just plug in an adapter and it's gonna work super fast. Like in the videos on YouTube, they're only like 10 minutes. Now I spent almost way more than that just trying to put it together, trying to get the program to connect to the programmer here. It's just, you guys are seeing it for yourself. I'm not trying to, I don't have this trying to downplay it. I don't work for any kind of company selling any kind of programmers. I'm actually someone who has programmers to make BMW keys. I'm an enthusiast, and so I just want to warn you guys about this product because it's really bad. And on top of that, the company, they're not, like I said, they told me to solder the chip. They told me to solder a joint here directly to one of these pins and to get it to work that way. And I actually tried it. You can see on the I was always getting trouble on this one right here. Let's see if I can zoom in on this one right here. See how a little. Okay, so the one I was having issues with was the res right here. Let's see if I can zoom in. Sorry, I don't have the best camera to use. The res and the ETX is the only two pins I would not read, which is the pins up here, which is the pins up here. Now they told me that these two pins are the same, so I can use like a joint here and solder them, and then they would both work. And as you can see, there's a little bit of solder here. I didn't want to solder in the bottom of the, I didn't want to solder down here. Obviously it's going to get away. I don't want to misalign these. So what I did was I just soldered it. You can see the solder still up here. I soldered directly to here. I still had the same problems. I could never, even directly soldering to the joint, I couldn't get this to connect whatsoever. And that was their only solution they can give me. When I try to ask for help or talk about my experiences in their chat room here, and see if I can. I'm just gonna exit this out and then reload it. Like I said, that on their chat room, when I was talking about my issues, they banned me from the chat room. I'm gonna show you guys the ban. So I log in. Oh, actually, you go to the main page. Right here in the bottom, news or technicians. You go to technicians. This is pretty cool if they would help. So right here, let's see where it is. I think it's under maybe technical facts. I think. Well, that's me talking to them about the situations and technical facts. That's not it. Group list, I think it is. Oh, here it is. So skill sharing, which is like a chat room where people talking about issues, and they try to help you. So, I mean, look, I have a problem with Recast 3. Someone else has a problem, and look, let's say I try to type something. Let me type in test and try to send this. You were confined to send messages in current group. They banned me because I was explaining all this, everything that's wrong with this. They banned me out, so I can't even help. So if you're gonna be in this, if you're gonna use this, and then you're gonna try to get some help, and you're talking bad about the product, be prepared to get banned, because that's what happened to me. Looking for help, suggestions, and the best they could do was telling me to, if I don't like it, return it or solder this. And like I said before, my main concern wasn't even to use this for Cast 3. I just had a Cast 3 module laying around, preparing me for when I do a Cast 4, which I'm going to film next, when I remove a Cast 4 module and test this out on that one.